Hello, hello, everyone.
Hello,
My name is Chantele Francis, and this is my co-host.
Michael Pez.
And we're here to give you our assessments or our thoughts and ideas about Survivor Season 36, Episode 2.
Ghost
It,
Island.
it's good. Like,
You know what? You know what? Like, because we have picked people, I am totally invested in this season. Like, I'm actually rooting for people, and like, I gotta say, I picked some really good choices. I did.
well, we'll get there, of course. We will
Yes.
get there.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the episode, you kind of see the tribe doing the whole coming back from tribal council, and it's dark. And James is just kind of doing some confessionals, being like he deserved to be the second choice, the second target, and like
You did.
really happy that they saved him, but like he thought that he should have been a goner.
Well, he did. Like, it was but they were like very hey, James, like, you have to understand that, like, that's why we gave you some votes. It's like that he was stuck to that challenge, couldn't do it, which is fine. And like,
a sword too.
but he was even like, yeah, like, I deserve those votes. He's like, I grew up in a household where failure was like you had to own up to it. So
I like people that owning up to their shit, but like not right now in the game where like you get voted off. Like I only like it in say Big Brother at the end when you backstab everybody in the house to own up to your shit, but not like when it's gonna cost you the game.
yeah.
But I think that like the tribe likes him enough, and I realize that he's an asset in enough ways that his little mishap in the water, because not everybody's gonna be great at deep diving in the water.
I wouldn't be.
Like, I mean, I've never done that before, but I don't know if I'd be good. But like, I think it's the type of activity that they don't expect everybody to be a professional deep diver at. So I think he gets a pass there.
Yeah.
And the tribe has decided that they're done losing. Well, I hope that they're done losing too, because I'm tired of seeing them go to tribal council.
Yeah, those twice in one episode. So
Oh my
there you
god!
go.
And then yeah, so then they go to the challenge. So they're all both tribes are there, and Jonathan comes back from Ghost Island. Notices obviously who like went away, who was voted out. He seemed a little.
But they didn't even touch on that. They were just like, Jacob got voted off. They're all like, okay.
Well, he just like,
okay.
Cool. Jonathan, he's so cute. Like, I don't think that he's going to win this game, but like, there's something about like I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, like that warms my heart about the fact that he's so wide-eyed and like everything's a new experience for them, and he's so happy to be there. And it's just,
like,
it's so sweet.
It's so endearing, yeah.
I'm like teary-eyed right now.
Like, it's just like just the fact that he's like he gets to experience this. He's this kid from like little butt fuck nowhere town, and like it's endearing. I love it.
Yeah, so
he's a little character. I find that like want all these people to be like really solid like characters.
Yeah, exactly. Like they do a really good job with casting. I don't know if it's because people are able to show themselves a little bit better in the Survivor platform. Like they have to do challenges that's going to expose like what they're good at, what they're bad at. Like they're deprived of a lot of like their comforts. So like their true nature kind of comes out. Like I don't know if that's why casting seems to be better than some other reality shows, but like the formula that they have, I find that like they pretty much always do a pretty good job. Like there's never really super dud seasons that I can think of.
No. They get obviously if you're going out for these things, obviously you're very charismatic and you're outgoing and you want to do this. If you like audition, and then just that's why like it's just you have to be patient. If people audition and you don't get onto a reality show, just be patient because you might not be ready for that season.
Yeah, the formula is going to work with you.
Yeah, like for example, I met somebody who was trying out for Big Brother or whatever, and he was older than 35, and they don't really cast like a lot of older like a lot of older men in a season altogether. So when it was like the 5th season and Bruno was on, Bruno was kind of taking that role already. So they don't want to have too many people that are very similar. So, but that's why the season of Survivor is like awesome because, yeah, there's a couple blonde girls, but like one's very athletic and then one's a little cute, little sweet one. And then there's, you know, very different people.
Variety, and it seems as though age doesn't seem to separate people as much. Like if they suck, they suck. But it's not always an immediate target on the old person just because, unless they suck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I found it really funny though that Jeff was talking to, like, asking questions to the only people that got like 0 screen time in the previous episode. So it was Libby.
Oh, that's what I wrote. Yeah, I was like, Bradley spoke.
Yeah, they have a voice.
I was like, Bradley spoke. I wrote it.
Great, because I was laughing at the fact that like who. I don't remember who Libby is, and she's on my team. And then I was like, "Oh, that's Libby. Okay, I remember her."
Yeah.
But it was funny that neither of them spoke, and now they have a voice. And then the classic Jeff line happens. Drop your buffs. We are switching tribes. And
then Angela starts crying.
I know. I wrote that down too. I was like, "Girl, okay, you've known them for what, 6 days? Like, I mean, okay.
No, it's not that. She's just hungry."
I mean, I just cried over Jonathan, so maybe I'll be crying over like the family because I am the type of person. One thing I really, really like about me even wanting to be on a Big Brother or like another reality show where you have to like live together and get to know people really well is that I love the idea of like a family aspect, and like these people, regardless of how you get along, you have like this bond for the rest of your life. And I really, really love that element about like all these shows. And so I can understand maybe how she could be emotionally attached in 6 days, but I was kind of rolling my eyes a little bit. I'm like, come on, girl, get it together. So Stephanie, though, you see a couple of whatchamacallit, interviews where she's like freaking out a little bit because she's like, I was at the top here, like I had control of the game, and she's like, I have to, ebb and flow and go with the flow of the game. But she's like, damn, man, I had control, I had some power, and now I got none.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But that's like the fun thing about Survivor is that you get. Oh, I didn't want to push sounds. Angela, Wendell, and Morgan.
Oh. Now, what do you think, though? Okay, so Navidi ends up having the upper hand on both tribes. And
well, there's more of them. So like that's the benefit of like winning those first 2 tribal councils.
Shaking up those 6 and 4, or well, not 6 and 4, but it could have shaken up. Yeah, 6 and 4 on each tribe, either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could have made it. I don't. Well, did it even it out? They still have the same amount of people, right, on both sides?
Yeah. So now there's 5, I believe, Navidi, and 4 Manolo on both tribes.
Yeah, I switched. I have my little thing of our list, and I just I'm not even on camera right now. I have my list, and I've switched some of the blue, like so if they were on Navidi, now they were on this tribe.
It's too confusing.
So I have them all linked up. So, and funny enough, a lot of my people switched over to the winning next tribe. A lot of them did. I was like, oh, that's convenient, right?
I think that they're doing this to like go against me because I'm doing so well on Drag Race.
Oh, yeah. There you go. VH1 versus CBS. Boom.
Now, did this happen here? Okay, no, they go to the camp. Okay. So they go back to the camp and like they see like, Brendan's kind of explaining camp life and like, that they have like a wonky shelter or whatever. And is it Navidi? No.
Yeah, the best is they're all like, they're like, oh, so they came over here and it's so Kellen says it the best. She's like, it's like when you go over to like your friend's house and then you see their newborn baby and you're like, oh, that's a cute baby when it's not a cute.
Yeah, it's like you have to be nice to their ugly baby, and like they think
like Kellen. Favorite. This one right here. She's great.
I mean,
She's got a really good confessional.
she's good at confessionals. I don't think she's gonna win per se, but she might go far because she just seems kind of slinky, like I don't know, slinky. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think right now she's like my fan favorite, right?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. And she's on of course she's on your team and you're pushing.
She's on my team, but I do like her. I do like her a lot. So we get to know Brendan here, and Brendan is just like explaining how he's like a coach and stuff. But then whole time Bradley is just like complaining the entire time. Like, guys, this is fucking Survivor. So what that you guys were like at this beautiful tribe? Hey, why don't you like be like try to get to know everybody and like
well
stuff.
It's like also like what if they split the tribes into 3 like they do sometimes, and like there was a tribe that had to build their shelter from scratch again. Like you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And he also showed some clips of Chris like talking about now gunning for Dominic again, and I was
like right off the bat too, right? Like
I'm just like, what, you're already showing them that you're willing to turn on your tribe? Like, no, Chris, like I understand that you don't feel safe with Dominic. I get that. But like the best thing for you to do in those situations is keep your numbers strong and go in at least to the merge with a little bit power, then go after Dominic. Like you need him for a number right now because they have no loyalty to you. Yes, they'll vote out Dom, but they don't have any reason to not vote you out. Like there's no reason.
The thing about Chris is that Chris just knows that Dominic is so shady. Like he just knows that like Dominic is not telling. Like Dominic has that face where he looks like he's up to something, and Chris like is so smart and he is very charismatic that like he will pull these people aside and he will just right off the bat go, "We got to get rid of Dom." Like he's talking to Angela, that's on the same team, and being like, "Hey, we got to get rid of him."
Well, and
he's got Wendell by his side.
I hated that he was talking to Angela about that and like saying like we need to blindside Dom. I'm like, it just to me shows that he is just he's thinking with his like male macho attitude as opposed to like really thinking with the game. And like I don't know if Dom would have been targeting Chris if without him hearing that Chris was targeting him right then. I know they're targeting each other eventually. I just don't know if Dom would have like started targeting him yet, and if he hadn't heard that information.
Yeah, I bet you sure.
I just don't think so. Like it's kind of like, oh, he's targeting me. Like, well, I'm going to target him now. No.
Well, yeah, but well, he wanted to, so wait. Are you saying about Chris targeting? He wouldn't be targeting Dom if he didn't know that Dom is targeting him. Opposite. Okay.
I'm saying that
I don't know. It's all because Sebastian told Wendell and Wendell told him. But it's all because Dom put his hand up like that, right?
That's not what I'm saying.
But I know what you're saying. You're saying would Dom be going after Chris if Dom didn't even know that he was even gunning for him?
In this particular instance, when they swap the tribe, I don't think that Dom would immediately turn on his tribe to go after Chris with these new 4 players.
No, I don't think so either.
Right? And then like, I didn't also like, and I'm glad that Angela kind of spoke up about it, how Chris talks to her and not with her. And like, nobody likes being talked to like that, like telling him what to do. You have to do this. You're stupid. If you don't do this, you're like, nobody likes that attitude. So
no.
He needs to figure out his negotiation skills a little bit better and make people really want to do the things that you want to do, not like are opposed to doing it because of how you make them feel about it.
Yeah, like work. If you want someone to like do what you want to say, like work with that person, like ask them questions, get inside their head.
Like make it their idea.
But he's still like, it's like a horse. It's still like one, like he's got this one direction and his goal is to get rid of Dom. Like, why don't you like feed everybody else little things instead of telling people, as much as like So what do you think, like, who do you think should go next? I was thinking like this person or Dom. Like I would like
It
called
just
outwit.
needed to be more of a conversation than a dictatorship as to what needs to be done. And like, I'm rooting for Dom, obviously, because he's on my team, and I actually like him more than I like Chris. But I definitely don't think that Chris's angle is the best way to get what he wants to have done.
I just find it that they're focusing so much on this, so it must be resolved in the next like few more episodes.
I would imagine.
It has to.
Well, it seems like it might bite Chris in the butt because Morgan, did that already come up yet? Yeah. Morgan, oh, wait, no, never mind.
No.
End of this episode. Spoiler alert, never mind.
Yeah.
But Libby, though, I guess it was her like emergence episode, with being like her confessional, being like, I'm just gonna play pretty and sweet, but I'm not gonna let Chris think that he's like telling me what to do, but he's not. I'm just gonna play dumb with Chris. And I was like, all right, play dumb. You're a cute little blonde.
Yeah.
Like, that will work with Chris because he doesn't see anything right now other than Dom, and I like that she's at least recognizing what Dom is doing. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, she's a little smart player. She's kind of like, well, this is like look wise, but also like look wise, but player wise, she reminds me of Andrea, like from past seasons. Andrea, the heroes versus villains, Andrea. She got like she was focused on the last episode about getting voted off, the first female to get voted off with an idol in her pocket. Yeah.
She has a show.
So yeah, so like I like her. I'm like excited that she is emerging, and she as we see the episode play out, she emerges more.
Well, it probably. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah.
On the other tribe, though, Stephanie is freaking out a little bit. Like talking to Jenna, saying that they need to find a crack. They're kind of scrambling a little bit because they don't have the numbers on that tribe, right?
Yeah, they don't.
And then so they start the idol hunt, the idol witch hunt. They start on the search. So the boys, they also start, and they actually, Michael reaches hands into the base of a tree. Sometimes I'm just like, is it really that easy to find an idol? I know that it's all edited in.
I guess it is. I guess it is very easy to find the idol because they just found it. And like, but I mean, like, you're really searching around. Like, you're obviously not going to walk like 10 miles and to find this thing. You obviously are going to go just around your camp because you don't want to go too far from camp. And plus, you also got a cameraman following you too, right? If you ever like really notice that there is a guy with a camera following.
I mean, I'm sure they're not making it like they're making it obvious that they're idol hunting. Like, I don't think that they care at this point because they know they're sitting ducks, right? And Kellen didn't make it seem like there's even a chance. So that's another thing too. Like, if you know that people are sitting ducks, like, wouldn't you want them to feel at least comfortable and like that there is a chance that one of them is going to stay? Like, I would probably play that card so they wouldn't go and search for an idol, because an idol makes everything sure and unclear, and any one of them could maybe go home depending on how it's played. So I think that if I were on the tribe that had an upper hand, I would probably try to make it seem like we had a crack and that the other team had a way in, so that they would feel a little more secure and not look for an idol.
Great. And I'm excited that my boy Michael found the idol.
Proud of you. So wait, are we making points as we go?
Well, that's definitely points right there because he found it without a clue. So
crack. You can't get. I need all those like points like that.
I know you do. But that is found a hidden immunity without a clue. That's 25 points.
Bigger.
And there was no reward challenge, so that's the whole thing. So that's a plus 25.
Okay.
No, it's only like an hour episode as opposed to
Say that
the
again. You're kind
episode
of
we
breaking
watched,
up.
like they did a lot. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm back over here. Hi. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Right. Sweet. So they get that immunity, and it just gives all those people like a little bit of hope. Like, I always like to root for the underdogs in these situations because I like when someone does flip.
And like, come on, like 3 of those 4 people are on my friggin' draft. Like, like, I mean, I was poo-pooing your draft picks, and I still feel that my draft picks were better, but the luck of the game has not been in favor for these people. Like,
and that's what I thought about with the drag race thing. I thought my picks were good. But I just was like, okay.
I mean, anything can happen, obviously, and like the tables can turn very easily, you know, but
yeah, for sure.
it's a little disheartening to know that I'm 2-0 going on to 3. Sure.
Okay, so we get to the immunity challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff is just like, you have to jump from side to side, and then you have to pick up this big ladder, climb up, unravel this thing, throw it up, hoist yourselves over this mountain, then run over, climb up, and then do a puzzle. First one does the puzzle wins immunity.
Yep.
You're safe from tribal council, and boom. So they all started doing it. And I mean, it looked pretty hard. It looked like it was a fun obstacle course, which I thought was awesome.
Oh, can we just rewind 1 second? There's just a moment that I wanted to just mention that I also really, I guess it's like an emotional episode for me. But when Michael gets the idol and he realizes it's James's idol, and then he watched it when he was a kid, and that like he like that Survivor China was the first season that he watched, and like I thought I got goosebumps when I was hearing him tell that story. I was like,
yeah,
so cute and so sweet, and like as much as like I've been an adult for the entire time that Survivor has been around, but it's so cool that someone like a little kid, like he started watching the show and like he's now grown up watching it, and now he has the opportunity to be on the show, and the first season is like, it would just be so like, oh my god, like I would have been like,
it just like comes full circle, like it's perfect, right?
yes. Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to put that.
Yeah, so it's just, oh yeah, no, it's great. Oh yeah. I like that too because it was just like, oh man.
And also, right before the immunity challenge, and Morgan and Libby kind of had the little connection moment where they're like, oh, you know, we're both Catholic, you know, and how they really, really trust each other. And like, she really, really felt as though, you know, they could work together further on in the game. And like, Morgan was like, thumbs up for Libby and vice versa. And it seemed to, even in the confessionals, they both seemed to be really enjoying each other. Mm-hmm. Which I was happy about. I like, they're both on my team. So yeah, work together, please, people, please. So yeah, as you said, like we had the immunity challenge. We get to the puzzle part. The reward is a tarp, obviously, and to send someone to Ghost Island. Boom.
And they send.
Oh yeah, so at the end, so who won? Which, I don't know which tribe is which, so you have that written down right now.
I have, okay, so we'll do the points right now of who wins immunity.
Okay.
Okay. So, who won immunity?
5 points?
It's 5 points. We start with, I'm just going to go for you. Brendan won immunity. Stephanie J won immunity. Jenna won immunity. And that is it.
Is it Morgan on that side? Not Morgan. Oh yeah, right. Correct.
Okay. Then for me, Michael won immunity.
Oh, you have Mike. Okay, never mind.
Michael won immunity. Bradley won immunity. Desiree won immunity. Kellen won immunity. Chelsea won immunity.
Okay.
So That is 5, 10, 15. You got 15 points there.
Yeah.
I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 points there.
Whatever.
All right. So then they say who's going to go to Ghost Island, and they can't come up with a clear decision.
Well, and
so
also
they decide.
point out that Laurel and Wendell tanked that puzzle, like tanked it. Like they were just walking around like not. It didn't even seem like they were trying at some point. I was like, guys, like you got to look like you're trying, or it's your tribe is gonna hate you. Like I just was like, come on, guys, and they just was like looking, and they couldn't even figure out even after they're looking at the other team. And who was it? It was Bradley and Kellen that did the puzzle for the winning team. So
yeah, and Kellen, that means Kellen's done like the puzzle twice now. She was the last time she did the puzzle as well, not the puzzle where it was the sliding puzzle, but they had to do the puzzle the last round, and she won that round too. So she seems to be a little smarty pants.
So they couldn't make a decision. Now, how did you feel about them not being able to make a decision?
That's justified. I mean,
do you think though that they should have figured it out, or do you think it was better for the Stephanie side to let them draw rocks?
I think that you should leave it up to rocks when it's this early in the game. Like that's what I think. Like, they were going to come up with a solid plan because there are lines drawn that people want to stick together, and they're not going to be like, oh, I think this person. No, but they were also thinking about just sending Jonathan again.
Which I think is always like, I thought that they should have sent Jacob again, and I think in this case they should have sent Jonathan again because they don't know about Ghost Island, and having too many random people go to Ghost Island, it could come and bite them in the butt. So knowing just like you have to worry about maybe Jonathan having some sort of advantage of some sort, I'd rather that than like everybody has an advantage. I think it just makes too many variables where you're not sure, like there's no clear person that has something.
Exactly.
It's my point.
I completely agree.
And yeah, so they did a rock draw, and the white rock goes to your boy,
Chris. Chris. So Chris gets a Ghost Island point, and that is plus 10.
Oh my god!
That's a plus 10.
Oh my
and oh my god, emotional. Talk about emotional. Ghost Island.
It made me like him a little bit more. Made him more of a human, like he's doing this for his mom who has MS, and like I appreciate that story, and it makes it harder for me to want a gun for somebody that's coming from like an emotional place, and like he wants to win it for something that's I feel is warranted. So like he deserves to win it. He deserves to be there. But then at the same time, I hate knowing that because I want to be like, get him the fuck out of there. Like, I don't care, jerk. Like, but he's not a jerk. He's a good guy. And so
he's a good guy. And he lets it out. Like, and I was like, you know what? And it is a thing. Like, these people that's 39 days. You're away from your family. Like, it's not just 39 days. It's 39 days out there in Survivor, but they still got to go for like probably about a good 2 weeks beforehand and do all medical tests and do all this stuff, do all their pictures, and all go to LA and stay in a hotel and be isolated, and then signing a bunch of contracts. So it's probably it's more than 39 days.
Oh, 100.
Oh, yeah. It's way more than that.
Yeah. So also though, so let's see. What else happens next? Yeah, Ghost Island. Oh, but he plays the game he breaks the urn, and they don't have a game for him today.
No game for you.
So those are random, or are they going in order, those urns?
They're going in order.
So they know whether or not there's going to be something, like the show knows which episodes are going to have something in play.
I guess so, which is kind of
I wish that was
interesting.
right.
I would have picked like a random one.
Well, yeah, but you can't really tell if they're going in order or not.
I thought they were going in order. I just, yeah.
I'll take a look again to see if it's like bing, 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 or if it's like bing, 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 bing. So yeah, so I feel bad for Chris, and like he doesn't even get an idol or anything that's gonna help him in his game, and like, you know, he's really, really doing this for his mama.
And here we go.
But he's also really worried. Sorry?
No, go ahead.
I said he's also really worried though that him not being there, that the Dom vote is not going to go through, which is obvious because like Morgan even points out that it's going to be a 4-4 split now, or 4-4 tie most likely if somebody doesn't budge. And so yeah, Chris is right to think that like Dom is definitely not going to be why would Dom be the target if you're not there? Like that doesn't make any sense.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So Angela, so we leave Ghost Island, we go back to camp, and Angela's talking to Wendell, and she's telling Wendell that she's willing to draw rocks, but drawing rocks at tribal council is never a good idea. Like it's never a good idea because it could be your fate to leave. Like there's not that much control that you have in the game. Like if it's it's team challenges, so you have to rely on your team. Like in tribal council, you got to rely on your alliances if you have any. Like there's so little part of you that can take any ownership in like your game fully. The fact that you're just going to leave it to even further chance is like ridiculous, I think.
Yeah, like if someone was like, we're going to draw rocks, in my opinion, what I would do is I would flip. Yeah. I'm going to flip my decision, and whoever is like, yeah, I'm going to draw rocks, I'm going to go for you then.
You're like,
I'm voting you off. I'm voting you off. If you're going to put my game in jeopardy by not coming to terms, then you're going to be the one that's going to go.
Well, sure. And that's kind of what ends up happening because Wendell's like, okay, I don't really trust Angela because she's Chris's right-hand man. And like drawing rocks is stupid. And so it seems as though now the plan is kind of switching. And because Angela's right-hand man to Chris, that they are thinking of flipping and turning on their own people, even though they have the upper hand, which I'm like, oh, guys, no, don't do this, please.
It's episode 2.
Oh, don't just stay together. And then I was also really annoyed with Dom. Like, I love him, but he is so crazy as a player. He needs to calm the F down. Like, calm down, Dom. Stop qualifying everything. Stop showing people everything. Stop making people be like, hey, look at this is the idol that I showed him. I gave him this note. It's from Tree Mail. Like, this is when he's getting all bent out of shape up. Like, thou doth protest too much. It's always a red herring to up to some wrongdoing. Always. Like, people that are not lying don't talk. Like, you don't qualify everything. Like, if I had a real idol or if I had a fake idol, like, I would probably just not say anything.
Yeah, it's like he feels like he's, well, sometimes people like, do you think that people play a lot for like good TV? Like, obviously they're like, they want to have good TV.
But like, okay, even like, don't you learn when like you want to lie about skipping school?
But I don't know.
Like, you learn when you're gonna give an excuse, you give minimal details. You just say I'm sick. You just say blah 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 blah. Because if you have a big, long, drawn out story, nobody believes that because you're making it up.
It's true. Anyways,
he didn't go to school for lying when you were a teenager, apparently. You didn't get that 101.
Some people don't have that 101. Like, there was one time where I was accused, like, of, I actually, like, laid down for just before work. Like it was about 2 hours before work, and I actually fell asleep to the point that I like missed the beginning of my shift. And I got to work, and my boss was like, "Where the hell have you been? Like you're supposed to be here." And I was like, I like laid down and had a nap, and I didn't wake up. I just all of a sudden like, oh my god, it was past my thing. And he was like, they didn't believe me. And I was like, no, but I'm serious. Like I just laid down and like fell asleep. But I didn't make this big like long song and dance about it. But I don't know. There's sometimes where like you tell something like, I don't know, telling the truth and saying too much or not saying too much.
It's not true. If you say like, oh, I was working so hard and then I came home and then like I made myself eat and then like I forgot to set my alarm, I put it for the PM and I just like kind of closed my eyes for a second. Like if you had all those details, he would for sure not have believed you.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay.
It's all true. And because of this, though, your boy James sniffs out this idea that like, I don't think that Dom is telling the truth here. He sniffs out his lie. Just like, I mean, it was pretty obvious, but I was pretty impressed by James like making that call so like definitively. You know,
good job, James.
He wasn't wavering about it. And I was like, ugh, whatever, James. Like,
James is gonna go so far in this game because if you get votes, you almost go on the first episode. You're probably gonna like last for a while. So I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about that because they might try to get him when he's like individual immunity styles. Because he would be, I would think, a threat for that. I feel like he'd have balance because he seems like he has a low center of gravity. And I feel like he has stamina. And like if he has so much like, I don't ever give up. And like, you know, I was born to like, you know, take responsibility. Like I feel like he has a lot of stamina within him and heart. So I think that he might be targeted after when the tribes merge. Good, get him out of there. F off. Get out of there. I'm still gonna have the winner, okay? So whatever.
What?
Okay, we'll get to
you still might have the winning person, but
I know we can heckle me soon. Hold on, we're almost there. So wait, what? James wants Morgan or Wendell to be the people that they vote for, but Libby's not really going for it. She's saying that she thinks that she can trust Morgan over Angela, and so Libby was kind of going against what James was saying. But James seemed to he was pretty strong in his conviction, and Libby didn't back down as we could see. But I thought James had a pretty strong presence in his opinion there.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wrote this down, but I'm like, oh, Wendell is so charismatic. He really is. It must be a tribal.
That was one of his, like, that's one of the things that I picked, why I picked him, was that it was one of his, he said he was, like, very charismatic. He could, like, talk to, like, a lot of people.
He would have been my first pick, but I was thinking going with, like, the all-American white boy. No, I went with Dom. Never mind.
You went with Dom.
Wendell is a much better first pick if we're doing first pick, like, gets a lot of points if they win. And Wendell right now is looking pretty good, actually, for a win.
Yeah.
Because he has all these, like, meat shields in front of him, especially Dom. So Angela said she can go with the popular vote or whatever is going to be best for the tribe, which is, okay, I'm like, that's fine. Like, if you don't want to have a say in what goes on, then you don't have a say with what goes on, and you don't end up knowing, you know, so whatever. And then, so Dom likes, you know, like how the new forum, they're willing to talk things out and talk things through. And so Jeff kind of calls them out being like, you guys sound like you're all kumbaya, but then you start talking and it seems like actually, no, you're not. And I was yeah, they're not kumbaya at all.
No, because there's so many like hidden little things there, like, and then like Morgan and Libby are having their little like girlmance, and then like Chris isn't there, so, and then they were all talking about, well, Chris wanted to do this and Chris wanted to do that, and they're like, well, Chris isn't here, okay, so Chris can't vote, so we're gonna vote.
And I thought it was interesting though that I can't remember exactly how Jeff worded the question to Libby, but it was like asking about like lying.
Yeah.
And whatever, like what he said, like what did he say? Like I don't remember what he said, but like I hated her answer. I hated it.
It was basically saying like I could lie, I could be sweet, and I could lie, and like she but then Morgan steps up for her too. Morgan's like, she's so sweet, look at her though, like she's so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah,
So they get it to vote. They get it to vote, and in the end, it's another hashtag blindside. They go for Morgan on my team. No,
she was upset.
I was praying that they go for Angela so I wouldn't lose someone else from my draft pick. I love all these people that they're getting rid of. I'm like, I really liked Morgan. I thought she was fun. I thought that she was like, she's a fan. She had the legacy advantage. I was like pretty much rooting for her. You know what I mean? And like, she's had a quirky personality. I liked her. And then she's gone. I'm like, damn it. So James voted Morgan. Libby voted Morgan. Laurel voted Morgan. Dom voted Angela. So did Wendell. Donathan voted Morgan. Angela voted Libby. And on the way out, Morgan's like, don't trust the cute blonde. I'm like, Morgan, don't say that. Libby's on my team. Take the heat off my team. Like,
that's so funny.
And we saw that Morgan, though, wills her legacy advantage over to Mr. Dom.
Okay, well, now your guy has 2 immunity idols.
So what does he get a point for that? The legacy being passed to him? Please.
I don't know about that.
Well, he needs another idol without a clue. I mean, it's a little bit much, but he should get something for he has another idol. You're like, let me check my notes to see whether or not it's appropriate for him.
I don't have those notes.
But we did, wait, what's just regular finding an idol? But maybe 10 points? I don't know, 10, 15 sounds fair, to be fair.
Well, if he gets an extra, like, now he has another idol, fine, 10 points.
Okay. Whew. Jesus. Tough room. And does everybody have points?
Choices.
No, we don't have that in this one. There's no points for staying here, right? What other points do we need?
That was immunity. That's it.
That's it? Okay. So 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 55, 60 points for Mikey whenever this today. And then 10, 15, 20, 25. Right. Okie dokie. What was it, 90 and 95 last week?
Yeah, so it's 95 plus 60.
I mean, I'm only 40 points behind you. I'm at 115 and a 1.
Yes. I have so many people that all of a sudden I'll start losing a bunch of people, so.
It'd be a double eviction episode, please. Like 2 tribals, 1 night, both your people, please. Please. My people find more idols, please.
Yeah, right.
It's like saving me right
Well,
now.
the good thing is, though, is that I don't know. We'll see what happens for the next round. It's just I have so many people in that one tribe. And
yeah, one side you guys go over there like no, because my people, the majority of them are in the lower numbers. Are you laughing at me?
No, I'm just well, it's just like I'm just like I don't know what to like. The good thing is though is you have Brendan, Stephanie, Jenna, and they're like on a good they're on a good tribe right now, and they're with Michael. So the 4 of them could do very well here. That seems to be what they are focusing on.
You know what though?
So ultimately, like the storylines that are going on is the Dom Chris thing is happening.
Yeah.
We got Kaylin just being this little like funny girl in the diary room sessions. We got the Michael, Stephanie, Brendan trying to like the next episode. You see the fact that they
shared with the girls about
the girls that they have the idol so that they can be alive. You see Stephanie J getting upset, writing hope in the sand, and you're just like, okay, well, that seems to be the next wave of storylines that are going to happen. So it's exciting,
also the legacy advantage, because you also see Wendell and Dominic can be like, oh my God, like everybody hates us and everybody's against us right now. And like, that's a sad realization, especially being like, they're both alpha males. They're both, I would say, generally like likable people, you know what I mean? But like the tribe dynamics has not been working out in their favor for them. And so it's going to be, I wonder how he's going to share the legacy advantage, if he's going to with Wendell or not. Because I think that he kind of needs to start talking to Wendell a bit more about his strategy, because Wendell is really, regardless of what happens, is really linked to Dom in everybody else's eyes and perception. And he needs to start maybe helping Dom maneuver through the game a little bit better, because Dom on his own is like a bull in a china shop. Like he is just like seeing red and going for it. And in some instances that could be great, but like he was never the target in the very beginning until he made himself the target. And I'm just like, he needs to learn a little bit more of Wendellism. It's a word now. Wendellism.
Yeah. Wendellism. It's a word. It's to Wendell.
Yeah. To Wendell.
Okay, so that is the end of our episode. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Again, my name is Michael Pez, and you can find me on Instagram at Michael Pez, or on Twitter, the Michael Pez. And
you can find me on Instagram at Shan, CHAN, Fran. Find me there. And then you can find all my other gazillion channels that I have with different personalities and different, you can find me there, you can find me anywhere. So I hope you enjoyed our recap of episode 2 of Survivor. As Jeff says, the greatest show on TV, and it's pretty good. Like,
still pretty good, man.
Pretty good. They keep on talking about gummies and candies. Like, it's like a good gummy candy. Like, it's good.
It's good. I'm not going to stop eating it.
Yeah, it's like, I'll have it again and again and again. Sure.
Yeah. So it's a good show to watch. Especially like at this time of year when it is a little cold here in Toronto. It's a nice little show to watch that it's just like they're in a warm climate. It's cool to watch. I really like it. I really enjoy it.
Me too. All right. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Subscribe and share this with your friends. Bye.
Bye.